Yeah, hi, this is Emma Burford from Business Rocks, and this is Biz Rocks Biz Fix Blab, and that happens every Wednesday at 1 p.m. GMT London time. So thank you to everyone for hopping over to Blab. I'm just going to test out a Facebook Live. I've never done it before, so I'm going to go cold turkey on myself. Have a go. So I've got my phone ready, and I'm just pressing on continue. And I'm just going to do a quick go live broadcast and probably get the top of my head. So it should be quite fun here. So I'm just going to let Wendy back in. Let's see. Hopefully she's able to hop back in this time. Hi there, Wendy.
Hi, Emma. I'm not sure what happened there, but you completely froze. And then I seemed to be able to carry on talking, and then it just stopped completely. So I refreshed the page and hopefully we're sorted now.
Yeah, I never know, because I saw that you'd frozen, but that doesn't mean to say that I hadn't frozen. So, hey, you never know, dear. I'm just saying I'm going to do a quick demo of Facebook Live. So how many of you guys watching at the moment have actually got Facebook Live on their profiles on Facebook? Have you been one of the lucky ones to get it? Or I'm just going to type something in here first. We just got the top of my head. No, you haven't got it, Wendy?
No.
I'm not looking at the screen, so on again. Let's try. Okay.
Have you got it then, Emma?
Yeah, I've got it. I have got it, and I'm.
Oh, mind you, you're on Apple, aren't you? You've got the iPhone.
Recording. Yeah, recording little Facebook Live. Hi everyone, this is Emma Burford here, and currently I'm on Blab. So I'm going to just split the screen, and you can see Wendy and myself on Blab. And Wendy can wave if she wants to. She's looking very thoughtful. So I'm recording this one. So this is my first Facebook Live. I was going to record one on Friday, but unfortunately I had no Wi-Fi Saturday or Sunday, and then it just didn't happen. So this is my first one. If you're watching on Facebook, we'd love you to come over and join us on Blab for a Biz Rocks Biz Fix Blab, which is happening now. Just go blab.im/Biz Rocks Women and come and join myself and Wendy, and we're going to talk about things, business things, and we'd love some of you to come and hop in a seat and join us. So I'm going to click off my first Facebook Live and go back to Blab, because it's, trying to do two in one's not so easy. So see you in Blab. Bye. Okay, that was cool. Okay, I think it worked because people were watching. So yay, it worked. So a few familiar faces on Blab here today. For those of you that are new, my name is Emma Burford, and I'm the founder and publisher of the Business Rocks magazine, which is for women in business. And I also set up and have been running for the last 5 years a magazine, a directory for mums. So I've got two businesses I run alongside each other, and they complement each other obviously really well. And every first Wednesday of the month, can't believe it's February already, I'm joined by the lovely Wendy Tomlinson. So Wendy, I'm sure will just introduce herself now. So
oh gosh, hi, I'm I can't type and talk at the same time. It's impossible for me. So I'm going to say hi, Ether. Nice for you to join us. I am absolutely gutted that I haven't got Facebook Live. I have got just some rubbishy Android phone because I'm not really a phone person at all. And for the first time ever, I'm sort of thinking, shall I just go out and buy an iPhone just so that I can have Facebook Live? But to be honest, I just think, for me, because I'm not a phone person, I just think it's a really, not a big expense, but it can sort of top up. But I mean, I sort of have just a standard sort of Android phone that I top up £10 every sort of 3 months. So, for me, that would be quite a big investment sort of thing. So yeah, I'm hoping they'll run it out for Android quite soon.
Yeah, I have heard it's definitely coming very soon. I think it will be here really soon. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Wendy, for those of people watching or watching the replay who maybe don't know who you are. What do you do?
Sorry, yeah, okay. Is that what you asked me to do earlier on? And I was trying to type at the same time. I can't do it. Okay, so my name is Wendy Tomlinson, otherwise known as Sunshine Coach on my Twitter username. So I am, by profession, I am a coach, but I sort of like do lots of different things as well. I run a very active blog called Morning Business Chat, sharing loads of business tips. And I get lots of tips from other people as well that I can share on there, because I'm not the expert on everything. I specialize into like the mindset things, productivity, goal setting. But I sort of like also share loads of sort of stuff about social media, just because I really, really like it. And anything that I can find out, I like to share with you guys. I am the host of Morning Business Chat here on Blab, obviously. So that's on a Friday morning at 10 a.m. And I have various courses that I run online, and I'm the author of 5 books, I think now. Yeah, 5 books. So, yep, that's me.
Wow, that's a lot of books. I didn't realise you had 5, so that's pretty fantastic. And,
yeah,
I haven't written any books, but I have obviously put together a lot of magazines. So maybe one day I'll write a book. We shall see.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I have to say the books are not really business related. You know, I think the first book that I wrote was like a parenting book, just because it was stuff that I wanted to share with people. So the books are not particularly business related, but I enjoyed doing them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would say that although they're not, they are sharing your skills, aren't they? So, you know, your parenting skills, your skills using your tapping and all the techniques that you've got. So they get you known, don't they? So how many of you out there have written a book, actually? I'd love to know. How many authors have we got watching? Anyone? Or is anyone about to write a book? Let us know in the chat. And I'd love it if you could share and tweet out, tell a little bird on the, now I never get this right, do I? So I'm going to say it's this way. Hopefully that I point to my garden. I'd love it if you could share us. This particular Blab, I've actually set up on Facebook now, and that's what I had to close at the very beginning if you were here when I first opened up, because I've actually created a 22 social page on my Facebook page for Business Rocks Women, and it had this horrendous echo because I couldn't stop it playing. And my only concern there is, obviously, I did tell people to go there and you can add questions, and obviously I can't look at it now. So I will have to investigate that before next Wednesday. So we're here. Well, I'm here every Wednesday at lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and I'm looking to get on board a couple more people to join me so that I'm not always sitting here and, you know, being joined actually by some great guys last week. So thanks to you too. I know you're watching, so that was really cool. Wendy joins me on the first Wednesday of the month. So at the very beginning of the call, I was experimenting with my phone and we touched on Facebook Live. So yeah, I know I'm a bit sneaky. For any of you that don't have it, I've always set up my Facebook profile as a US one, and then that means generally that I've got things quicker. So that's a little tip. If you haven't done that and you're thinking, how come I haven't got Facebook Live, or, you know, it's not been rolled out, that could be one of the reasons. So in your setting, you can go into the US function and add that on. So that's what I did that years ago. So I do tend to get all the updates quite quickly. But yeah, going back to the phone thing, I mean, obviously for me, because I've got an app and I'm using, in fact I do have an Android, an old Android phone, and I have an Android tablet because my app's on Android as well. And for a long time I was an Android user, so I do get that, but you know, it's kind of really important now for me that I have an iPhone so I can test things and use it and kind of get the user experience of what people are seeing when they're actually, you know, looking at my magazines. So that's kind of why I have Apple. So a bit of a convert now. So tell us, Wendy, what have you been doing in your week this week so far? How's your week been going?
It's been really great, but I'm just going to answer this question that Etha's just asked. It was asking, like, how long did it take to write my books? And they varied massively. I think certainly the first book, it took a long time to create. I completed it probably, well, for me, it took a long time. It was like about a year. I know that some people take absolutely years to write books. I'm very, very much, the way that I write is very much how I am, you know, in life. I feel like I can't be doing with a load of fluff just to fill things out. You know, so I sort of like say what I've got to say and that's it. And I know that one of my books in particular, it's only sort of like 99 pence, and it's a self-help book, the Self-Help Booster. And it is a really, really short book. But for me, I gave the message that I wanted to give in the book without a load of nonsense that really wasn't going to help anyone. You know, so they varied depending on what I wanted to share, really. I sort of like, once I get sort of stuck into things like that, I tend to sort of like go, right, boom, boom, boom. I'm quite methodical with it. And I sort of like tend to get them done quite quickly. Oh, my time management book was actually, I felt like I was cheating with the time management book a little bit, because I did, I don't know if you've any, I know that Sarah, that you've heard of them, Emma. I did Saki Media's 30-day blogging challenge, and I'd done it a few times, and I literally combined all the blog posts for those 30 days, and I did them all on time management, and I put them all together in a book. I changed a few things so that it would all flow nicely. But I sort of like really just took those blog posts and put them into a book. And I have a 30-day weight loss challenge book, which is also, I run a free 30-day weight loss, like, you know, they can sign up for my mailing list. And I basically put that into a book. And loads of the people that signed up for the free emails also bought the book, which amazed me. And I was really like, gosh, I really didn't expect that to happen. But obviously some people like it being on a book instead. And I do have to say to everyone watching, I am not the expert on weight loss in any shape or form. It's something that I've been sort of like, you know, struggling with for a long time. I'm slowly getting there. But what I do is sort of like share, again, it's mindset stuff, you know. I knew that for me personally, until I got my mind sorted out and on board, nothing was going to change. So it was basically sharing all that side of things in that book. So yeah, so in answer to the question, the time span varied massively. Ether, I would imagine for you, things would be a lot more in depth in the sort of book that you would be writing. You know, when Ether comes on and talks, I often get lost completely. He is the nicest guy. But, you know, it's sort of like data and that sort of thing. I mean, you know, he'll probably contradict me and tell me it's not that at all, but that's sort of like my understanding of it. So I would imagine for the sort of thing you'd be wanting to write, and he's saying this'll do, I would imagine it would probably take longer. But however, if you're not into the idea of writing your book yourself, you can hire a ghostwriter. And basically, they would write the book. You would pass on the information to them, and they would write the book in a way that wouldn't sort of like make sense without you actually having to write it. I'm not 100% sure how that all works, but it's certainly something to have a look at. If you like the idea of writing a book, if you've got people asking you, you know, why don't you write a book? You know, could you write a book? And you don't really feel that it's something that you want to do, because not everyone likes writing. Not everybody enjoys. You don't, do you, Emma? You're not particularly into writing.
Particularly, because I don't. I'm very patient as a person, but I find writing. My brain goes too fast, my pen doesn't write, or my fingers don't type as fast, and then I forget what I've said. So I'm probably one of these that will go for an audio book and then get someone to transcribe it. And that's really interesting. You mentioned the ghostwriter, because I know Wendy's one of my niche experts in our Business Rocks Academy. She comes in and chats with the members, and it's relatively new, and we've got a number of other lovely ladies, and one of them that springs to mind, who Wendy obviously knows very well, is Ginny Carter. Now, Ginny Carter, I've known for years because she did an awful lot of social media, but she realized that running people's social media accounts, she was actually very good at writing material and content. So for about the last 18 months now, she's been a a ghostwriter. She's gone down, changed career paths into the writing side of it. And I know she's always saying, Emma, you know, come on, I can help you do this. But I've got other things that I'm working on this year. But at some point, then, yes, I would go to someone like her, because I know I could talk to someone and they could get those ideas out and probably structure in a way that would help me move forward more quickly. So for me, I'd really like to put a mini book together to help support the contributors of my magazine, and that's something that I have been looking at and has been nearer the top of my list. I think it would be a really good
that would
way.
be nice.
Promoting on Kindle and getting those people out there. And as Wendy knows, I'm actually working on a new app, and that would link with that. So that's something that's kind of nearer the top of my list, perhaps maybe later on this year. And obviously for me, being more of a content curator, that's a lot easier to do, because, you know, I'm great at pulling stuff together. So I know people like Wendy and a number of the other ladies would be really good at writing out some no fluff, no bullshit articles. So yeah, that'd be good. We'll have to give that a go, won't we? So yeah, so I saw Steve said he's written ebooks. Ebooks I have written, yeah. They're great for giving away. And like you touched on, Wendy, if you've got an ebook and it's maybe like one of these 30-day kind of build up books, then that's a great way of getting short bits of information out daily, whether it be emails or perhaps you send them a PDF chapter. I actually have done that for years on my mum's site. I was sending out 3 tips every week for 8 weeks, you know, just an autoresponder series, and that worked quite well. And then obviously what you found is that they were then coming back and wanting to buy the full book, Wendy, which is really cool, isn't it? Because they liked what they'd read. So yeah, writing definitely helped.
I mean, with the 30-day weight loss challenge one that I was talking about, actually, I mean, every single day for 30 days, they got the emails, and pretty much all of the content in the Kindle book is exactly the same. Everybody that sort of has signed up for the email course, you know, they know that if they buy the book, it's going to be the same stuff. But what a lot of the people said to me was they liked having it all in one place rather than having to go, and they were happy to go and just pay for that rather than, you know, get it for free. So I thought that was really cool. Justin, I don't believe that you would write a book that is depressing. No way. I like Justin. He's a cool guy, and I think he'd have quite a good humour if he wrote a book. But
so yeah, books are highish on the list, and you know, it's a great way of getting your business out there, isn't it, in the written word, or like I did earlier with the Facebook Live doing a video. I just opened up my Facebook again on another page just to see some really bizarre picture of me and Wendy, but there you go. I will look at that later. I won't play that. Yeah, so this week, how have you been getting on with your week? I know we were looking at the questions. If anyone's got any questions, you know, basically we'd love to hear from you if you've got any struggles with your business or any tips that you want to share. And I will open up the seat shortly. So if you'd like to hop in, just send a chat through, say you'd like to come in, and I'll open up in a little while. So if you've got a question, you can do /Q, and then it hops up into the left sidebar, which makes it a little bit easier for me and Wendy. We won't look like we're going like this all the time trying to read both sides. But, yeah, so how's your week been so far this week, Wendy? Have you had a good one?
It's been lovely, actually. I feel at the moment that things are really... I'm quite sort of like short of time, if that makes sense. But I feel like things are really calm, actually. I started off January sort of like being a bit hectic because my son was poorly. But yeah, definitely going into February, feeling very organised with the things that I need to be doing. You know, and I'm very, very, you know, with anyone that I sort of work with, it's sort of like, you know, you need to know exactly what you're doing, sort of thing, you know, each day. Yes, there can be different things, but even if it's just a case for me, you know, I've got a board straight in front of me, and, you know, I know that on a Monday my blog post goes out, on a Wednesday my blog post goes out, and on a Friday I do the Blab, on the Wednesday, like, you know, when we're scheduled, and I know. And so it's not a case of having like everything where it's like this at 9, this at 10, this at 11. But it's like, right, what are the main things that you've got to do in your day on each specific day? And I just think if you've got those things in place, you're not going to go off on tangents quite so much. I mean, it's lovely. I love it when I get sort of like free time where I can just say, right, okay, I've actually done everything I need to do now. I'm going to hop on and see who's on Blab, or I'm going to just go on social media and chat with everyone. I mean, it was funny actually, because I just saw a post in UK Business Circle and their group earlier on today, and it was about, you know, the amount of time. I didn't get a chance to read it properly or comment on it, but it was about the amount of time you spend on Facebook. And I do spend a lot of time on Facebook. I mean, I sort of like, you know, I do a lot of different things on Facebook as well, and different social media channels. And I do spend a lot of time, but then my business, a lot of my business is online, and I want it to go more and more that way over the course of this year. So for me, it's a no-brainer that I need to be on social media sites. I need to be, you know, doing things that are going to create my online presence. But it does depend on what people are doing and what they want to achieve from it. And I think this comes down to, again, knowing whether it's advertising, whether it's your email marketing, whether it's having a YouTube channel, a blog, or the time on social media. You've got to know what it is you want to achieve through it and what you want back in return, so that you can keep an eye on the, you know, the return of investment sort of thing, you know, because if you can't monitor that, you've got no way of knowing whether that time is actually benefiting your business or not.
Absolutely.
I see you smiling at the comments and thinking I'm missing something.
No, comments, but yeah, no, that's absolutely it. And I think there's a real balance, isn't there? Because I was thinking this yesterday, because I had a great week last week. I hit off 3 big things that I needed to achieve, but then I found I had a techie issue on Friday afternoon, when I kind of, like you were saying, I was ready to wind down a bit and perhaps do a bit of build business building rather than getting on and doing an actual focused project or topic that I'm doing. So that was a bit frustrating. And then it got to the Saturday and I had no Wi-Fi for 2 days, which for me was just like, but, sometimes that's great. I have to embrace that and just go and do other things and spend some time with the family. And, so I had a really nice weekend. But I've just moved email service providers, as you know, Wendy, and that's going really well. So I, like you, feel like I'm in a very good position now to I've mapped out February pretty tightly because of having some children. I've got half term soon and another magazine issue to put out at the end of the month, and February is a really short month, so I kind of have to really make sure I know where I'm going with what I'm doing this month for sure. But yeah, it's all kind of going in the right direction. But yesterday I was thinking, there were 2 things. I want to go and build more automation type things in my email system, but at the same time I also want to go and do some Facebook ads and put some more things on there. So it was kind of that balance. Sometimes it's not known which, do you go for something that's going to create the money, or do you go for something that's a long-term building, it's quick or short-term gains, isn't it? And sometimes you have to balance that, and it can be quite tricky to know. That's apart from your general kind of daily to-dos or your things that you're actually doing. So yeah, it can be a juggle sometimes, especially when tech doesn't go your way, but that's what we have to experience, isn't it? It's the same. So has anyone got any other questions, or would anyone like to hop in? I'm going to unlock the seat. So if anyone was looking to jump in and join me and Wendy and ask us anything, or just jump in, you can. So basically, the other thing I was thinking about this week was Twitter, because I had one of my contributors, Wendy, saying, I don't know if you saw the conversation I had, that she didn't like the hashtag Follow Friday. And I have 2 VAs who do that for me, and I asked both of them. Now, I know that they're not going to say that you know, oh yeah, we want to still do it because, you know, they want the work, because I just give them more different works. That's not a problem. But what are your thoughts on the Follow Friday scenario? Because I asked a number of other people and I had a real mixed kind of response from it. So what do you think on that one?
I was quite surprised that someone had put that up on your actual timeline. I think if it had been me, I would have, and I felt strongly enough about it, I would have contacted you personally. So that's the first thing I want to say about it. You know, and I think we all need to be aware of this. You know, what we put on social media, everybody sees it. You know, so, you know, always be respectful of how that's going to come across for the person's audience. So I am not a fan of Follow Fridays, and I definitely understood what she was saying. I just thought that the way that she went about it wasn't the best way. Because, you know, you do just end up with a load of links and you think, well, you know, and I know that in the past I've sort of like gone on and sort of like tried to connect with people that have also been tagged in it, and I don't really get anything back from them. So, you know, I have sort of found it not the best way. Sometimes I do the Follow Friday hashtag, but I tend to just sort of like go, fantastic businesses in the UK that I love to connect with, something like that. And I'd probably sort of like tag, you know, probably 2 businesses within that sort of thing that I think maybe would, you know, maybe would like to connect with each other. But for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Mm-hmm. I just noticed that I'm going to get Abdullah in and see if he would like to ask us a question, and then we can come back to that. Hi there, Abdullah. Sorry, I was just listening to Wendy there, so I couldn't pop you in. Where are you calling in from today?
Bye.
Oh, okay. Bye. Oh, okay. So
just want to say hi.
Saying hi. So if anyone else wants to join us, do please hop in, and we'd love to see you inside. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I've been using that, and I know that some of my mum's people have actually grown their businesses using that quite a lot, and they're quite connected a lot. So it's one that I'll review again. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't picking up on that particularly for the comment as such, or the way that she did it. But yeah, we all have Twitter etiquette, don't we? So it's
I think that's it.
A different way of dealing with people, really. So okay, so this week, as I say, Facebook Live has rolled out, and if you haven't got it, we've talked about that. I've actually been head down in my email system, so I'm midway now between putting the next magazine together, and so the next couple of weeks for me have been really kind of productive time, and I love that because I feel a little bit freer to kind of get on with some of the things I want to deal with and tackle. So I don't know how, you know, if you have a monthly kind of setup, whether you actually go ahead and do have a timetabled kind of work routine, or do you just fit things in around as you go, Wendy? I know you're pretty organised for your little board. I've got mine over there actually. I actually use like a Scrum board to kind of focus on those topics that I'm doing.
Yeah, I like to know. I sort of like have my everything written down at the beginning of the week. Well, I usually do it on a Friday, and I sort of like have my plan of what I want to do the following week. And I like to do the same things on the same days if possible. You know, like I like my blogs going out on the same days. I think it creates, you know, a good routine. I'd like to say my emails go out on the same day each week, but they really don't. And I know that the email people watching this and me saying this are going to go, oh my God, you know, what are you doing? Because I have a couple of basic emails that go out when people first sign up. They obviously get the opt-in, and then there's a bit of a follow-up. And that's it really. And I have sort of like I have sort of like done sort of like quite a lot of research, and sort of like I probably know that the best thing is to have a whole sequence of things set up. But for me, I don't know, it is that whole thing, where do you want to put your time? And I suppose at some stage it might be an idea for me to sort of go back to that and review it and maybe sort of like add some more things. But for the time being, the way my business works, I know that I have time every week to write things from scratch. And, you know, I make a note of things that I want to add in there, you know, in the weekly email. And, you know, sometimes there are things that I want to tell people that are not planned, you know, 6 months in advance or something. So I don't tend to sort of like schedule my emails that I send out to my subscribers tend to be, I'm sat there at the time and I write them out and they go out for me saying whatever I want to say to them. You know, I really value my subscribers. And for me personally, that's how it works. But yeah, I like to know, you know, on a Monday, this is what's happening. On a Tuesday, this is what's happening. But have a little bit of flexibility in there, because I know that for me, if I didn't work on that sort of system where, you know, I get up and in general, and thankfully I'm back to that now, you know, I'm starting work at 8 o'clock and I know what I've got to do that day. And I've written that down, you know, certainly at the beginning of the week, and then like at the end of today, before I start to switch everything off, I'll just write down what I want to do extra to my normal set things, you know, before, so that I just basically, I feel like I'm hitting the ground running. Because, like, you know, certainly, I mean, the first year of my business, I was so busy. I worked ridiculously long hours and I didn't really achieve very much at all. You know, I just felt exhausted all the time because I was sort of chasing, but I didn't have a clear plan of what I was doing. I was just doing, if that makes sense. And I didn't, you know, I didn't really know what I was doing each day. So I just filled my day with anything and everything that I thought was going to work. And really, that's the worst thing that you can do, in my opinion, because I just think then you do get distracted by, oh, that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea, you know, and you go off on different tangents, definitely. But yeah, so I am definitely a planner.
Yeah, I'm a big planner too, but not so much with a pen. I've got my Scrum board, so I use that to, that's something one of my digital mentors was going through, and I picked up a book. I've forgotten the title of it, but I'll dig it out and put it in the show notes. But that's really helped me because I've always been quite good at focusing on one thing. So I'm quite patient, so I'll get stuck in and get it done. But it's being able to move quickly through those things during the week. And the idea of having a big long list was just never, I just can't be dealing with that. I need to be able to see a result and move on. But I do have a little notebook and I do write things down, like you say, every day to remind myself the next day, have I done that or not, follow that up. What's really interesting is for a year I had Infusionsoft, which is, you know, one of the best email systems, but I didn't have the right setup with it. And having had two businesses, my mum's site, which had been going a long time, I had a lot of people that I'd grown over the years, lots of subscribers. And I'm now, with the new system, being able to really fine tune what information people want, because we are all so busy, we don't have time to kind of read lots and lots of information or get lots of emails that are not relevant to what we need. So this week, I'm definitely going to be fine-tuning some sort of a kind of survey opt-ins, so I can really go through my list and find out exactly what they want, and be able to, like you say, if you do a newsletter once a week or once a month, which we should all be doing if we can, make that more personable, make that more informative, you know, kind of bring them up to speed on what you're doing, but also share some really good things that they're going to enjoy reading. But it's the other things in between that need to be really spot on with people, you know. So like this Blab, I sent out an email yesterday and I put in the bottom, you know, if they weren't interested in Blab, and I just did it as a test to see. At the moment, nobody has clicked to say they don't want it, which was good. It went out to quite a lot of people, so I was quite keen to see, you know, whether people would start going, yeah, actually, I'm not interested. So I'll have that on there now forever. And if they opt in and they don't want it, then, you know, I'll still be sending them other relevant information, but just not Blab, because Blab is not for everybody. You know, not everybody wants to come and join in or even, you know, watch a replay. And it depends what type of learner we are, doesn't it? Because I love listening to audio, and if I've got a video, I'll listen to it. But unless it's a tutorial where you're having to watch what you're doing, follow along, I tend to just listen to them, which I know, you know, means you can perhaps do some work alongside. Whereas other people are more of a reading, you know, they're more visual. They might want to watch a video, or they like to read a book and make notes. Like you were saying earlier, they want to actually, you know, tick off what they've done. That's, you know, that's not me, but, you know, a lot of people are. So it's catering for both types, isn't it? You okay?
I've got an echo.
Okay. Sounds fine here. I'm just having
I have my Kindle, and I absolutely love my Kindle, except when I fall asleep reading it and it hits me on the head. But I have been known to buy a book on Kindle, and because I've liked it that much, and because I want to highlight things and I want to make notes in the side, I've gone and bought the actual, you know, paperback or hardback book as well, which my family think I'm a bit mental. But, you know, some books I just have that need to sort of like do the whole writing thing in it. And obviously you can't do that on Kindle. I actually have a question that I would like to ask, because I was unsure about this whole idea, and I just wanted to see what everybody else thought about it, really. I was invited to a Facebook group that I thought, oh yeah, I'd quite like to join that group. Sounds interesting. My sort of, you know, information. I could tell it was going to be my sort of information based on the title of the group. But in order to be accepted onto the group, I had to also opt in to the mailing list, and I didn't really want to be on the mailing list. You know, and I just wanted to sort of like, what does everybody else think about that idea? You know, I've got lots of different things going on Facebook, and whilst I can see definitely if they're gonna, sorry, we've got a bit of an overlap.
I'm not sure if it's totally legal with Facebook. I know you have to be very careful with Facebook terms and conditions, service DS, because you cannot actually. You're not meant to charge for a group specifically, and I have a feeling you're probably not meant to ask for an opt-in. So if you're thinking of doing that for your group,
I really like that idea, because I like, if I'm going to give someone my email address, I want to know more about what I'm getting first. So I would have liked to have been able to go on the group, get a feel for the group, and then decide if I wanted to opt into something. So I wasn't keen on that. And another thing that I wanted to talk about today was I was having this conversation with a client earlier on in the week, and it was about emails, and when we want to contact someone in business, someone with a view to sort of like collaborating with them, with sort of like doing some sort of work with them, or for them to recommend you or something like that. So, and I said, for me, emails would be way, way down the line. For me, it would be a phone call, or it would be connecting on social media. And this is the only reason. If someone sends me a personal message on social media and I've had no connection with them, anywhere else, and I think, well, why are you asking me to book a Skype call with you or something? I think no, I don't know you, and we've had no connection before. And, and I've had people who contact me and, they say, so like in an email or on a private message on Facebook, oh, will you recommend me for such and such? I'm like, no. Why would I? I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. Now, had that person commented on some of my tweets or commented on my Facebook post or joined me on a Blab, even, in the conversations or anything like that, I would definitely respond to them differently. So for me, a personal message saying, will you recommend me is completely out of the question. Or, are you going to jump on Skype with me? I mean, my time's very limited, so I don't want to jump on Skype with people. If I was doing that, I get about sort of 10, 15 requests a week for things like that.
Well, that's interesting, because I think definitely it's all about building the relationship with people, and that's the first thing you should be doing, which makes it much more interesting. I think I tend to get more of those from LinkedIn. I get a lot of people coming up on my profile and kind of wanting to connect. I get lots daily, and I don't know if it's just Facebook recently, but I'm getting loads of Facebook friend requests every day. And I don't have a very strict policy. I used to never ever, when I first started my second website, I never actually had any friends apart from my true friends. And then about probably 2 years ago, I sort of started to let a few more come through, but I'm getting loads of friend requests. So I think they've changed the algorithms a little bit, but I guess because they see you as a coach, perhaps they feel that they want to check you out, Wendy, and find out more about you. And I have had one or two people that are a bit like that have kind of feel that they can sort of, it depends maybe on, I don't know if it could be age, but, I think generally most people now are very used to being very social and being very open on the channels, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or, but you've got to build that relationship. So they're probably just looking at your profile and see that you're a coach and think, right, maybe you do Skypes, and they want to just get on, and actually kind of talk to you and find out whether or not you're there, someone for them, and, that maybe they might want to do some work with you. Don't know. I do get that quite a bit with magazine. I get a lot of people saying, oh, can I have a chat with you? And like you, don't have time, so I did join a few groups a couple of years ago, and I got inundated with people saying, can I connect? Can we chat on Skype? And because you could be doing that all week long, so it's a tricky one, because you want to be genuine to people. You want to be able to help them and get that connection, but you can't be doing that all the time. So it's really building those relationships.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, for me personally, I don't get it so much these days, but there are still, and the people who do it are people from quite a way back in my career. But I do, for me personally, I do think, if I'm going to give someone advice, if someone's contacting me and they don't want to pay me, if I'm going to give them advice, I do it on my blog, on my YouTube channel, or on social media where everybody else can see it. Because if they want it to be private, they need to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So that's my opinion. I mean, it's different. Like, I know sometimes you sort of like said, oh, what do you think about this? That's different because we do, we don't work together as such, but, we do things like this together. We're part of the academy together, and, lots of different things like that. And it's different. But if you're looking for specific advice from someone, then, no, for me, it's got to be public where everybody else can see it.
I agree.
Not going to pay.
Like you say, if you've built that relationship, we're both great givers, aren't we, Wendy? We like to help people if we can, but at the same time, you're not going to do it all the time. So, I know that, if I've got something, I'll run it by you perhaps, or you might run something by me, and that's fine. There's a certain line, but I certainly wouldn't be, if it were me. I mean, with Skype, actually, one of my great Google Hangout ladies, Carol Dodsley, going back 3 years now. I did a lot of Google Hangouts work, and I did some of her courses and did her a lot of one-to-one bits with her. And basically, she was saying, you just have to put a price on that call, So it depends how serious people are. If they want to get in touch and they really want to pick your brains, my brains aren't free. So then if you're a coach and you do that one-on-one thing, then that's what you need to do. You need to charge them. And it can be quite hard. Like you say, if you're getting maybe 15 requests every week, Wendy, that's quite difficult going back. I presume if you're getting
the requests tend to be, can we Skype? And I've learned over the years, I had someone who I've been in touch with, on and off throughout the years, who earlier on this week said, could we jump on Skype together? And because I've sort of built a sort of fairly good...
Just Skype. I don't have Skype on. I hardly ever use Skype now. I'm a total hangout nerd, so I'm always hangouts and I very rarely.
Oh no, I do have Skype because I use it with my son as well when he's away, and he uses it with his dad, and so for me, I associate Skype with being quite private, and obviously for my coaching clients.
Oh, no, we've got it.
But yeah, I mean, if I think, if I think someone's genuine in their reasons for wanting to have a chat with me, one particular person, definitely, I will definitely try and get on a call with him, because I think we can add value to each other. But when you get these messages, you generally can learn, they want to sell me something, or they want me to buy, they want me to sign up for their service or something like that, or promote them. And so it's those calls that I get on a regular, those requests that I get on a regular basis. My sort of advice requests have sort of dwindled drastically over, because I just end up having to say, look, this has gone to the point where you need to be booking coaching if you want any more advice. What's going on? I have people
going back to, I mentioned earlier, I found it now. It's the art of doing twice the work in half the time. Now, wouldn't we all love that? Twice the amount of work in half the time. So I'm halfway through this book. It's really helped me. I'm just going to put the normal Amazon link in there in the chat if anyone wants to have a look at that one. It's had a really good effect on my work rate. So if anyone, I have, like most of us, very limited time to read. So that's on my Kindle. Like Wendy said earlier, I do have a few books that I've actually bought hard copy and Kindle copies, just because I have. But generally, I'm a bit of a Kindle reader. But that's a good one if you want to kind of get a bit more productive and try and fine tune what you're doing. So that's what I'm reading at the moment. But I'm also reading, I juggle books. I'm reading Content Machine again for the second time by Dan Norris, and that's another good book, which is helping me. But there are so many good books and so little time for most of us, because by the time you either go to bed, you're probably too tired to read a book. So it's kind of almost like making a dedicated hour a week, perhaps, where you can sit on the sofa with a book without actually thinking.
An hour a week? I read for an hour every day. Otherwise I feel distraught. Yeah, I love reading. I do. I absolutely love my reading. But I would rather read than watch TV, really. So, I do. I love it.
I don't watch TV.
It's my thing.
I do.
One of the best books that I ever read. Many years ago, when I first left school, I went to college and hated it, and then I did an apprenticeship type thing, and I ended up moving through the ranks very, very quickly, and I ended up running a nursery school, local nursery school. It's a private nursery school, and it was amazing. And my bosses they taught me so much about life in general, and so much of what I do in my business now, and that I've done in other businesses that I've had. I have them to thank for the knowledge that they gave me. But they handed me this book one day called 1 Minute Manager. And it was for me, it was the best book I've ever read. and so easy. And I read it in one session. And then there's another book that follows up. There's lots of books in the series that I've read a lot of them, but this was the main one. It was the 1 Minute Manager, and then 1 Minute Manager Meets Monkey. And the basic story behind it is, you know, you've got these monkeys and you have them on your shoulder, and when someone says to you, oh, can you do this, and you go, yes, okay, you get another monkey come and sit on your shoulder, because you've taken their problem and you've put it on your shoulder. And so the idea is that you know, basically get rid of your monkeys and only keep the ones that are really important to you. Okay, so don't pick up other people's monkeys. You know, don't let them pass monkeys on to you so that they're all, oh, we're fine. You know, and that was something that really stuck with me. And certainly, I mean, now I'm a one-man band, but in the past I have employed, you know, sort of like 30 people at the same time, sort of thing. And for me, that was a really good lesson, because I believe that people only learn through giving them the responsibility, you know. And if someone comes to you and says, oh, you know, I don't know how to do this, you know, as someone who is in charge of those other people and their training, you know, you need to not be saying, okay, I'll do it. You need to be saying, okay, right, you know, going back to the monkeys, it's your monkey. I will help you to do it, but I'm not taking on the problem. You know, it's your job to do this, and I will help you to find the best way to do it, but I'm not going to do it for you. And I think that's the same, you know, for me, when people come to me and they're like, oh, you know, asking all these questions sort of thing, you think, okay, are they trying to give me their problem, or, you know, and want me to sort it for them? Or, you know, is this something we can work with in a professional capacity? You know, because I think there are a lot of people that want something for nothing, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the analogy. So I'm going to walk around today with a monkey on my shoulder. It's probably myself on my own shoulder. I'm going to walk around and see what happens. Who else wants to jump on the other one? Probably my teenage son, who's going to be saying, Mom, you know, and that's, you know, as parents, you know, it's not a parent conversation, this one, but, you know, we have to learn how to teach our children to do that, because otherwise they don't get on, do they? So that's really good. And I know Laura's mentioned here, she's saying that she had massive issues with some businesses tagging in photos and things like that. And I get that, because I've been, you know, had symptoms over the years. I think basically it is a very tricky one, because when you're looking to be a promotional type website, which is what you are, and obviously you're helping people build that relationship, etc., but you get a lot of freebie seekers and a lot of people who want to jump on for the ride, and it's tricky knowing when to block people. So, you know, if it is I have constant, then
I have a real zero tolerance. Sorry, Emma, we've got a bit of an overlap there going on. Sorry. I have a real zero tolerance with things like that. You know, there are some people who I can see it's genuine, and that's absolutely fine. And then I can decide if I want to sort of, like, you know, untag myself, or, you know, hide it from my timeline or whatever. But there are some people that are blatantly tagging you just to promote something else. And a lot of the time it's not something that I would ever want to be associated with. And I block them, but I also report them, because I just think it damages, you know, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter, wherever it is, it damages that platform for everyone else. So be warned. If anybody thinks about doing that, I will block you and ban you.
Yeah, and, you know, that is what happens. So, you know, at the end of the day, you can only have true fans, you know, we all try and support everybody, and we're not getting that support back, then you're not going to have a business. So it is a balance. That's I keep bringing up the word balance, but it is, isn't it? We have to just decide where we're going forward, how we're progressing, how we're converting things into money. And if you're spending too much time doing other things like that, then it's not going to work. So I know we've got a few minutes left now, and I know most of you are probably beavering away doing work and listening to us chat and joining in, which is fantastic. I just wanted to thank you all for joining us, and just I will pop in Wendy's. In fact, Wendy, you can pop your link in. Laura's saying, yeah, thanks, Emma. Promote our members. Yeah, that's exactly how I've been doing it for the mum site as well. So it is all about promotion. Yeah. And I think if you get good,
that's a different thing.
Yeah, they will do that. So yeah.
Yeah, with UK Business Circle, they are really, really good at promoting people, and it's a different thing altogether, that, isn't it? Because we've obviously, I'm a premium member with UK Business Circle, and I think they're wonderful. And, and I know, Emma, you share my things as well, and that's absolutely fantastic. But it's when people sort of like tag you and put your name in, but then they're directing you to a sale page that it's absolutely nothing to do with you. It's just spammy. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, all they're doing though is what a lot of them don't realise is they're just putting say at the Twitter tag, and they're not actually putting anything in front of it. So in fact, not everyone will get to see that anyhow. So they just don't know the rules, and they're just hoping that they'll get seen by people looking at it. So, but it happens, you just have to take that. So, but yeah, I think you need to block that one, Wendy, if you can.
Yes, I have to remember. Sorry, I was trying to do it as quickly as possible. I reported them as well.
We're going to close now in a moment, but I'll be back here next week. Yeah.
Emma, just before you go off, I can't do it, but you can at the side of the messages, you can go on, and there's a little box like in the bottom corner where you can get rid of all those messages.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got rid of all the messages. Yeah, I've done that.
Cool.
Yeah. So while I was talking, if you can report them, that would be great, or block them.
I reported that.
Yeah, we've got rid of that one. So always one.
Oh, it was a bit of a panic, wasn't it?
This week I've really enjoyed being here with Wendy again. It's lovely to be able to chat for her. I'd love it if some of you could come and join us next week, hop into the call with me, and I'm going to work on getting some other people to come and join us. But next week's BizRocks, BizFix, Blab, I'm getting my tongue round the words now. 1:00 next Wednesday. Wendy, do pop your link in back to your website if you haven't already.
Well,
and I'll pop
I was just about to do that when we got all those messages.
By the comment. Yeah. It's lovely chatting to all of you guys, and I'd love to know what books you're reading. So if you have a book that you're reading, bring it along to next week's call, and we can talk about that, because I know there's some fantastic books out there, and we'll catch up with you again next week. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.